See, and it's great that owners can downsize and sell their properties or rent their properties to individuals, and do it private owner if that's what you choose. You can do whatever you want to do with your location. I want to talk to you about preventing red flags in opportunities of screening tenants to rent property specifically. Now, in my case, I just recently dealt with this, and I want to make this very clear to the forum. You can do everything you need to do correctly with your lease agreement or your authorized representative agreement or whatever, property manager, realtor, however you want to do it. If the tenant comes in with the purpose to manipulate, to scam, that's their mission. Okay. So you yourself personally has to do your due diligence at the pre-screening level, meaning you have to qualify them to answer the questions you need them to answer. If they are belligerent, aggressive, quick, fast, in a hurry, want to interject certain things of that's very distractive, you know that that's something that will be a red flag, because if they're doing it now, they'll do it when it's time to pay that rent. Okay. So let's go into establishing consistent written screening criteria. You can put a guideline together. I can help you put a guideline of information together that is uniquely for you yourself. And then we can also require a completed income verification. You want to see pay stubs. It's very easy to get those. You want to do background checks and credit reports and conduct in-person interviews if you choose. If you're a visual person and you have to see the person, you can do it that way. I wouldn't really recommend that because it's very time consuming and you don't know if that person is going to actually um, be a good fit just because you see them, and it's just a waste of time. So anyway, establish these criterias and then verify that income and validate the references. Contact people, landlords, past employers. Look at the eviction past due history. But under the Fair Housing Authority, we need to know what the rules are when we look at those evictions. Under the Fair Housing Act, that can be discriminatory. So we don't want to do that. So we want to get you really, really squared away for that. And then running those reports is very important. And then make them pay for it. Make the tenant pay for it. If they want to be in your property, make them pay for it. Verify identification. Confirm certain things with identification. This prevents fraud. This prevents later down the line when you go to sue Jane Doe, you're realizing Jane Doe was John Doe. And so you don't have any references for even to sue him because he was a she. Now, use online research and check social media and information regarding certain things just to see if it's true. Go on LinkedIn, go check it out. Conduct interviews. You could do virtual. I suggest that because people are very iffy today. So virtual protects, and it also, you can hear honesty. You can do a Zoom conference to make sure that the person is correct, and then document everything. If you need me, I'm here as your third party documenter. So I will have all the documents saved and I will be able to support you in that way if you ever need to go to court and maybe misplace information, lose it, whatever. Now, these are 3 questions I want you to ask yourself under the pre-screening of renters in your property. Are you struggling with verifying the income for self-employment applications? If you are, you can always have them send you a copy of the IRS Schedule 1099 determining the income that was self-reported. Then you can contact the IRS and verify that that information correlates with what they submitted. The next thing you can do is get the guidance on Fair Housing Act compliance and make sure that you're paying attention to all of this as you're doing your criminal background checks. You do not want a person to sue you because their criminal background situation was unfairly, you know, provided during the time that they were looking for housing. You took their 20-year situation and it fell off because of the Fair Housing Act. There are certain things you just need to know. So that's what I do. I put you in a position of power and I make sure that you receive the Fair Housing Act so that you can determine if this is something you really either want to get into. Do you want to rent your properties? Do you want to go with the realtor, or do you want to, establish that relationship? Because I had a client who told me that the realtors were hired, and they were under contract and they weren't performing the duties. So who do you call at that point? You call the Department of Commerce, the place that allows people to have these real estate licensing, and you report just like you would any other business under the Better Business Bureau or Regional Chamber of Commerce. This is how you do it. And then the next question is, are you unsure how to find reliable previous landlords for references? All you have to do is, if the tenant does not want to give or share that information or does not have it, you can go down to the registry of wherever you reside and ask the county to give you information and documentation and last known phone number of the homeowner or the landlord that, you know, took care of this particular person. Somewhere we will help you find the information you need. So that's what I want to talk to you about, pre-screening, so you can prevent the scams that are out here. Be very mindful. Next time we're going to talk about how to see a scam in even checks and money orders, because that's a big thing. I just talked to the bank the other day and they were sharing how the scams on the way people play with the money orders even today is just phenomenally weird. It's a weird world, but we can get through it. And with that, we'll see you next time.